Coach Lyle, how are you
Cheers.
tonight?
Oh,
I'm good. How are you?
Live in 3 minutes.
Same as usual.
we're gonna
Gotta
jump the gun
believe.
on the 3 minutes. The normal
Jump the gun.
pre-show.
Pre-show.
Should have had it on
Right.
for all that chicken talk.
That was last week's. Look, that was last week's picture. Cool. Here's live.
Why is there?
We're live. We're live now.
We're live. We are live.
Oops.
We are alive. I'm
It's
alive.
alive. It's alive. Nobody's in yet. Oh, 3 already watching. Wow.
But it is pre-show. So
I-
anybody that's out there looking, just hang tight. And grab you some popcorn.
Right. Yeah, that's a good time. But 3
Have a
people out
smoke.
there watching.
Take a
Hi,
dump.
YouTube
Whatever it
people.
is you got to do.
Go do it.
He'll do it.
I think my liver's got some dew on it.
Alrighty.
I think that's where women have gotten the idea of men should use toilet paper. I remember seeing some kind of trend on social media about that. But we ain't going that direction. Yet I said that.
Well, I'm gonna turn off my mic. I'll be back in a moment.
We appreciate that.
At least it says at least, so they can have bigger than.
Tell you what, if I don't turn mine off, y'all really end up but crispy crunchy.
Oh boy.
But we gonna wait the regular time.
Ah, there's Johan. Hey there, Johan.
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 Woohoo.
And Rex. And then there's Rex.
Awesome.
As soon as Rex comes in, when she gets done rezzing, is that a splinter or loose skin? There's Rex. Hi, Rex. Nice to see you tonight. And there's Woo Maloo.
I like your dress, Chalice. It's so pretty.
Oh, thank you so much.
Very pretty.
It's labeled as a summer dress since it's summer down here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is beautiful. I love Flexi Prim.
Oh, is that a splinter or is that just loose skin? I can't tell. All right, peoples are here. Got the stream running. People are here, just waiting for the last minute stragglers.
Let me see who's online.
We're missing quite a few people still.
Yeah, quite a few.
I'm seeing
I
Why
see.
Not, Sonia.
Why Not's not here? Sonia, Kirsten, Fid, and Glee. They're not here.
They're not on.
They're not
Why
even
not wasn't here
online.
yesterday?
So, yeah, they probably got stuff going on.
Damn, real life gets in the way all the time.
It does, it does. Mullet Road in Cape Canaveral. Wow, they're close. Cape Canaveral Marine Center.
Hey, woo!
Wow, they're up. Oh, they're not gonna have all this stuff. I know where that is. East is Real Beach. East Marine Diesel.
Oops.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Glad you made it back.
Thank you. Then I got chicken fried.
Bye.
Ooh, I
And
made
coleslaw.
mini I made
I gotta wait.
mini- What are they? Corn dog bites tonight. Ooh, they were so good from scratch.
Actually, sounds pretty good. I like corn dogs.
I do too, but they, you cut up the little
Really?
dogs, put them on toothpicks, and dip them and fry them. Ooh, they were so good.
Dip them in what?
Dip them in sauce. You can like ketchup or mustard or whatever you want to dip them in.
Oh, you had batter and fried them already.
Yeah. I used a corn muffin mix and gluten-free flour and some spices. It came out nice and fluffy. They were so tasty.
Best.
You
Oh,
fried
Hot
that?
dogs. Ugh.
No, I just did it in my walk. I don't fry very much food at all, but that sounded so good I had to do it.
It involves hot dogs. Hot dogs are nasty.
I love hot dogs.
oh, I got one more now on the stream. Hello, YouTuber.
Dinner tonight.
It's assholes and lips.
That's okay. I'll eat them.
Yes.
Hey, I've seen you guys do worse in real life.
Until I get 200, 175. This is not
I
it.
wasn't grind them up enough.
Right?
Yeah, put some good flavor in there so they don't taste like lips.
Or buttholes.
Exactly.
I tried lips once. Didn't really like it.
I like tongue.
I would not big on pickled anything
I like tongue too.
except pickles.
Tongue's a nice sandwich. Mm-hmm. I love all the organ meat, but it's got so many oxalates in it. It's bad.
I'm just gonna say it. Y'all nasty.
You Cajun and call it as nasty?
Right?
Hey, I'm kidding. How about hog's head cheese? Y'all eat that?
I've
Yeah?
heard of it. I prefer scrambled eggs.
Liver cheese?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah? Love it.
I'll go get the wine. Who's gonna cut the cheese?
Ooh,
Don't you dare, Jim.
I'm sure somebody's got an attachment for that.
That's right.
Almost like real life now, you see. I got an app for that.
Right?
I used to put my hand on it and just squeeze my hand and get it out of it, but I have a different body shape today.
Oh, Haley, it's okay.
Oh, okay.
It's the group. It's us. We're kind of icky sometimes. Okay, we're icky all the time.
Let's see.
Somebody came in. Somebody came in. Well, they're not in business.
Alright, we got a couple more minutes, just in case. I'm pretty sure some kind of orange cloud gonna puff out the ceiling. It always happens. But we can start anyway, I think. Alright, everybody.
Oh, yep, there you go.
Right as I
It's
spoke,
Tiger
huh?
Lily. Hi,
Because
is
you
that?
spoke.
Tiger Lily.
Tiger Lily. Hi, Tiger.
Tiger Lily, hello, and welcome.
Yeah.
Tiger.
Alright, everybody, welcome to Hooligans Underground. Welcome to the standing room. I hope y'all all had a great week without any kind of mishaps or misjudgments or misunderstandings or anything like that.
Oh, come on. Who said Bob pretty high?
Take all the fun out of that life, huh?
Right?
Alright. Well, for that I apologize. I hope y'all had a terrible week. We're gonna have a better night.
Depends on the
Alright,
day.
y'all, Thibodeau. He went to the movie theater last night with his duck.
His duck.
His duck. Yep. Different ducks from the ones in heaven.
Same day.
Just stating.
Okay.
Now the ticket agent looked at the man, and then he looked at the duck. That was on a leash, by the way.
Oh, boy.
Freaking duck on a leash. The ticket agent says, "Hey, yo, that duck it can't come in here." Thibodeau tried to explain that the duck was a service pet and therefore should be able to go in anywhere. However, he didn't have no certification and the duck was not allowed in.
Uh-oh.
No license, no entry. Thibodeau, he ain't backing down. He sneaks around to the side door of the theater, and while he's there, 'cause it's in the alley, all dark, he stuffed that duck down in the front of his pants.
Uh-oh.
Gonna sneak it in. No big deal. Nothing there. Got a duck in my pants. Now, with no duck to be seen, the ticket agent allowed him in. And the theater was packed. Thibodeau had to sit next to two old ladies.
Oh, dang.
Yup. About 20 minutes into the movie, the duck was getting pretty uncomfortable down there in Boudreaux's pants.
I
Or
know.
Thibodeau's pants. I'm sorry. It's a little different. But he was still uncomfortable. So Thibodeau unzipped his pants, let the duck breathe. Duck, of course, sticks his head out, starts looking around. One old lady nudges at the other old lady. She says, "Hey, this guy next to me just unzipped his pants." And the lady further away, she says, "Well, once you've seen one, you've seen them all." Now the closer lady says, "Yeah, that's what I thought. But this one, he's eating my popcorn."
He's a real quacker.
That's probably one of my favorites.
That's cute.
This might be my other favorite. I might even turn the camera around, see what I look like talking. Alright, a baby crawfish and his mama crawfish were walking along a ditch when the baby crawfish, who had gone somewhat ahead, like kids do, they run off. Little baby crawfish come flying back down the ditch. The mother followed up. She said, "What's the matter with you?" And the baby says, Look at that big thing right over there. What is that?" Now, mama crawfish says, "You ain't got to worry about that. It's a cow. Moo cow, So they kept on walking. Then the baby crawfish come flying down again. The mother asks, "What's the matter?" Baby crawfish says, "Look at that thing right there." The mother says, "That's just a dog. It ain't gonna hurt you." So they kept walking. Then suddenly, the mother goes flying by the baby crawfish. The baby crawfish asks Mama what's wrong, and Mama said, "Run! The Cajuns are coming. The Cajuns are coming." And we be hauling the traps too, y'all. You can fold them. You carry about 20 of them suckers in one shot.
Too free.
Alright, we're gonna, that was a quick one, so I'm gonna back up and do open mic. See whoever wants to come up here first. Or I could just tell more jokes.
I'll go.
Alright,
Come on, bro.
alright, Jim, come on. Alright, everybody, let's welcome up Jim.
Woo! Jimbo.
Here come my funny bone.
I don't usually come on this early, but you threatened to tell more jokes, so
I know. Well, y'all gonna get
Put a
more
stop to
anyway.
that, won't it?
Unless you got like 50 minutes of jokes.
well, I do have jokes in the past I can sell to the rest of people here. I'm going to go back to Thanksgiving.
Nah, no jokes, no old jokes. It's against the rules.
What?
Since when?
That was the best joke yet, Nick.
Carry on, bro.
Carry on, wayward son.
Yeah, this I think it was about last month sometime. A toddler slipped through the fence at the White House, but the baby's not going to go on trial for trespassing because no jail can hold him.
I should have laughed with the chicken in my mouth.
You kept sticking your mouth and telling jokes? Okay. Taking your life in your hands. Will Smith released his first record in 20 years. Oddly, this song doesn't slap.
That doesn't
Yeah,
stop.
it helps to use the correct punch word. West Virginia was the first state to ban food dye. Now they'll have a healthier baby, which they had with their cousin.
Oh my god.
I've come up with a more humane way to produce foie gras. The method does not require force feeding the ducks, but the ducks asked, then what about the murder?
That's still there.
Little part of the process. We got to get that liver. A little known fact, back in 1912, Hellmann's mayonnaise was made in England. The Titanic was carrying the largest shipment of mayonnaise to Mexico when it sank. The next year, Mexico was still so upset about not getting their Hellmann's, they declared a national day of mourning and was called Cinco de Mayo.
Of course.
Oh, dang, I'm late. It's already 6th. Oh, well.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
The young woman had just gotten married. She was feeling nervous about her wedding night. The couple was staying at her mother's house, so she confided her worries. Her mom reassured her, your husband's a fine man. Go on upstairs. He'll take care of you. So she went up and her husband took off his shirt. It was the first time she saw his hairy chest, so she got rattled and she ran downstairs. Mom, his chest is so hairy. Oh, don't worry, Mother said. Go on back upstairs. Let him take care of you. So she took a deep breath. She went up to the bedroom. This time he'd taken off his shoes and socks. Her eyes got as big as saucers when she noticed he was missing 3 toes on 1 foot. She panicked. She ran downstairs. He's got a whole 1.5 feet. Her mother said, stay right here. I'll go see about this myself.
Oh my gosh.
That's great. Keep it in the family.
Oh my god.
Oh, my girlfriend gave me a gym membership for my birthday. Nothing says it better than a gym membership, right? I love you, just not every pound of you.
Just not all of you.
After my first workout, I was hurting so bad. Next morning, my girlfriend yelled, hurry, the trash truck's coming. So I shuffled towards the door and I dropped my key and yelled back, the trash isn't going out this week.
Oh, man.
I was sweating so much it started to smell like the meals I haven't eaten since 3rd grade.
Ah.
Ew.
I understand why she got the membership for me. You see right now, if you can't see me right now, but you have seen on the Animal Planet when the snake eats that rat, that huge bulge?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's why she got it.
Got a little bulge.
Yeah, little bulge. The first time I went to the gym, I figured out they have their own language there. I walked in, and a guy asked me if I could spot him. I said, well, sorry, I can't afford to. I'm here only for the 1 week free trial. I tried taking up golf for exercise, but the hardest part of golfing is telling her I want to go. Every time I tell her, it's like one thing or another. Oh, my friends are going to go golf. I already cut the grass. Tommy's wife said it's okay with her if it's okay with you if I go with him to play golf. Hold on, Tommy. I have to clean my room. I had to learn the golf language, too. The first time I went, someone asked me what my handicap was. I didn't know he wanted a number, so I told him, I'm a type 2 diabetic. My girlfriend has daughters, and when they first moved in, her girls were so sweet. They said, whatever, you're not our real dad. I said, oh, I'm sorry. Well, maybe you don't need to eat my real food then.
Oh, yeah,
You're right, I'm not your dad. You're going to starve in this house. The other one made me feel good the other day. She said, Jim, is it okay if I call you Dad? I was like, I'd love for you to call me Dad. I've been waiting for this day for a long time. She said, good, because my dad is getting really upset that I keep calling him Jim.
That's a good one.
That's what I have for now. Thank you.
Good job.
All right, big hand for Jim.
That's
Bing, bing,
The
bing, bing.
avatars are hard to steer, yeah.
Here, let me.
I will wear it for eternity.
It's entertaining.
Alright, y'all. An elderly Boudreaux.
Elder.
He laying down on his deathbed.
Oh no.
Yep.
Oh.
While suffering the agonies of his impending death, he suddenly smelled the aroma of beignets wafting up through the airs in the house. Beignets, donuts, for some of y'all. Now Boudreaux, he gathered up all his strength. He lifted himself up out of that bed. Now he was gripping the rails to do it, but he did it. And he crawled down the stairs. When he reached the bottom, he leaned against the door frame, gazing into the kitchen, where, if not for death's agony, he would have thought himself already in heaven. For there, spread out upon wax paper across the kitchen table, was hundreds of fresh, warm beignets.
Yum. Yum.
Well, was it heaven? Or was it one final act of love from his wife, Marie?
Getting ready for the funeral.
He threw himself towards the table, landing on his knees in a crumpled posture. His parched lips parted. The wondrous taste of the beignets was already in his mouth. With a trembling hand, he reached up to the edge of the table, and suddenly he was smacked with a wooden spoon by Marie. She said, "Stop! Those are for the funeral." Friggin' Marie, huh?
Yeah, I'm telling you what. Dang.
Alright. Speaking of Boudreaux and Marie, this is back on that 25th wedding anniversary, long time ago. Wait, I screwed that up already, y'all. Hit the rewind button. Boudreaux and Marie's 25th wedding anniversary was coming up. And Boudreaux suggested to Marie, he said, let's do something special. We don't never go nowhere. Why don't we go to Las Vegas?
Ooh, Vegas.
Marie agreed. That sure would be nice. Now, they went. And when they got to their hotel, a gorgeous young lady came up to Boudreaux and was being very, very friendly towards him.
Ooh, baby.
Now, he just turned and walked away. Marie said, Boudreaux, that wasn't very nice of you. Why you act like that to that young lady? And Boudreaux, he said, Marie, that was the lady of the night.
Ooh.
Marie said, what? What the hell makes you think that, Boudreaux? Just because she smiled at you? Boudreaux said, well, let's go up to the room, and I'll prove it. So they go upstairs, and Boudreaux calls the front desk, and asks to have the girl sent up to his room. He tells Marie to hide in the bathroom and listen. Now, she says, $150 for the basics. This is after the girl got up there. I skipped the part. The girl shows up. She knocks on the door. She comes in. And Boudreaux said, how much you charge? She said, $150 for the basics. Another $100 for the extras. Now Boudreaux said, woo, that's a lot of money. I was thinking more like, $25. The girl laughed. She thought he was crazy. She said, you must be a real idiot. Forget it. And she left. Now, Marie comes out the bathroom. She says, Cooey, I would not have believed it. And looking at Marie, Boudreaux says, see what you get for $25? That's more like the $25, but that's like a lifetime installment plan. It adds up. It's like a house mortgage.
Dude.
The deeper you go, the more it costs.
Interest gets less and less as you.
That's good. That's a good thing. My wife's in the kitchen. Alright, Boudreaux, Thibodeau, and Hebert was working on a big old bridge project over the Mississippi River up in Baton Rouge. Alright, when a big old gust of wind come and knocked Hebert off the bridge down to the river below. He died.
No.
Yep. Now Boudreaux and Thibodeau, they discussing who is going to go home, back to the bayou and tell Miss Hebert.
Hey.
Well, Boudreaux tells Thibodeau, he says, well, I guess I could do it. I kind of got away with words, and I can make it a little easier for her. Now, a couple hours later, Boudreaux comes back carrying a 6-pack of beer under his arm. Now, of course, Thibodeau said, Boudreaux, where you got the beer? Boo said, well, Miss Hebert gave it to me. Now, Thibodeau don't believe that shit, and he says so. He said, I don't believe you. You're lying. You gonna tell me that you told that lady her man died and she gave you beer? Boudreaux said, well, that's not exactly how it happened, Thibodeau. When I got to her house, I knocked on the door. And when she opened it, I asked her, I said, are you the widow Hebert? And she said, I ain't no widow. Well, I said, you want to bet me a 6-pack of beer? All them coon asses are the same, y'all. Alright, here's another one. I think I found a few pages that I haven't said in a while. Almost makes it new. If I follow the cable TV rules, I could call it new. So I'll just change 1 or 2 words, and it's new. But that's off topic. I don't want to
Did the joke start
bitching
yet?
about my cable. Alright, Boudreaux goes to see the preacher one day. He says, preacher man, something terrible is happening. I got to talk to you about it. Preacher man said, what's wrong, Boudreaux? And Boudreaux replied, he said, my wife, Marie, I think she's poisoning me.
Uh-oh.
Now, I keep calling her the preacher, but I think it's Father Hebert. So Father Hebert was very surprised. He said, what make you say that, Boudreaux? And Boudreaux pleads. He says, I'm telling you, I just know she's trying to kill me. What should I do? Well, Father Hebert, he then offers up. He says, I'll tell you what, let me have a talk with her, and I'll see what I can find out, and I'll let you know. Yep. Now a week passes by. Father Hebert calls up Boudreaux, and he says, well, I spoke to your wife on the phone for 3 solid hours.
Dang.
Now, do you want my advice, Boudreaux? Now, Boudreaux, of course, says, yes, anything. I'm pleading with you. Tell me. The preacher puts his hand on Boudreaux's shoulder. Take the poison.
Very-
Sometimes it only takes a couple of hours, huh? This man is helpless. The situation is non-fixable.
Right?
Boudreaux staggered into his house about 3 a.m. the other morning, drunk as a dog. Now Marie, quite upset, as usual, about Boudreaux's behavior, proceeded to raise hell. She said, Boudreaux, does you know what time it is? Why you go out drinking like this all the time? Boudreaux, he replied, he said, Chef, don't you get all excited up in here. I'm late. I bought something for the house. Well, that calmed Marie down. She likes stuff. Anything. Oh, Boudreaux, that's so sweet of you. What you bought for the house? Boudreaux says, another round of drinks.
Give us the paycheck.
You didn't say what house, huh?
He wasn't that specific, so there you go.
The devil's in the detail.
Exactly right.
Alright, find a joke. Alright, this might be good. Although I think I might be starting in the middle of the joke. I ain't sure. Alright, so here we go.
Last page, that's all.
But y'all figure it out. Well, one night, the weatherman come on TV, say there's going to be a big old flood. Well, Boudreaux, you know, he been through many floods. He ain't worried. Now it starts to rain. It rains, and it rains, and it rains, and it rains, and it rains.
For 40 days
And the water starts coming up.
Uh-oh.
Because, you know, after all that rain, you're going to have a flood. It's freaking New Orleans. It's going to flood. Now, at this point, Boudreaux, he's starting to get a little worried. He gets his guns. He tells Clotilde, wait a minute. He said some kind of quantum paradoxal shift or something. Supposed to be Marie. Let me start that paragraph over. So Boudreaux is getting a little worried. He gets his guns and he tells Marie to grab on to him. They getting out of his pirogue. Getting out in his pirogue. For y'all who don't know what a pirogue is, Google it. The ward outside. I got a misprint here. And I'm going to exclude it. The water outside and the water and all the water is still raising. Alright, I screwed that up. The water is still rising, y'all. It's coming up quick. The pirogue done floated away. Ain't no more pirogue.
Oh no!
So Boudreaux gets on the roof and he reaches for Marie. But the current is too strong. It done pulled her away, leaving Boudreaux all alone up on that roof.
Oh no!
Yup. About a week later, the water goes down, and every day they go out looking for Marie. That's Boudreaux, Thibodeau, Dado, Como, Hebert, a whole bunch of them motherfuckers.
It's
They
a
looking
boat.
for
It's a
her.
boat. I looked it up. It's a boat.
Yeah.
Ah, good job!
Oh, job, Marcelana.
That for context, wouldn't it?
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just.
All right.
What are you?
For 3 days, they look for Marie.
Oh, no.
On the morning of the 4th day, there's a knock on Boudreaux's door. Thibodeau is there. He says, Boudreaux, I got good news and I got bad news. Which ones you want first? Boudreaux thinks. He says, well, give me the bad news. All right, here's the bad news, said Thibodeau. He says, well, we found Marie. She did not make it.
Aw.
Well, Boudreaux said, tell me what the hell is the good news? Well, she had 3 dozen blue crabs on her, so we threw her back, and we're going to go drag her again this afternoon. Y'all, that's blue crabs. Quite the blessing.
Let it get until Halloween, all right?
All right. We'll take a moment to invite anybody to come up here and tell a joke. If you got it, now's the time.
Pepper, you got
Okay. I have Pepper.
All right.
Pepper.
Everybody, a big warm welcome for Pepper.
Thank you.
Yay, Pepper.
See if I can get situated here.
Waited.
There I am.
Gotta get you situated.
I have to get my situation. You know, I was told it's perfectly okay to talk to yourself, and it's perfectly okay to answer yourself. But I find that it's totally sad that I have to repeat what I say to myself because I wasn't listening.
Thought I resembled that comment.
Like me, I don't even pay attention to myself.
I caught my husband standing on the bathroom scales, sucking in his stomach. I said, that's not going to help. He laughed. He said, sure it does. It's the only way I can see the numbers. You know, I was in the shower the other day, and I'm not sure if I washed the spider down the drain or if it took one look at me naked and then leapt willingly to its death.
Oh,
Yeah, that's because when I was 18, I used to touch my toes 20 times each morning. These days, I have a cup of coffee and I wave at them. I helped my neighbor out with something this morning, and he said to me, I could marry you. I could not believe it. You do something nice for someone, and they threaten to ruin the rest of your life in return.
the nerve, huh?
I know, right? Well, my bank has a new service where they will text you your balance. It's pretty cool. I like it. I just don't think they should add LOL at the end of the statement.
Totally inappropriate.
My mom always said she didn't have a favorite child, which is pretty rough because I don't have any brothers or sisters.
Oh
Now here's a little advice for everyone. If a tree falls on your ex in the woods and no one hears it, you should probably still get rid of the chainsaw just in case. That's it for me. Have a great night, everyone.
Big hand for Pepper, y'all.
Hey, get rid of that chainsaw. Put it somewhere.
That's funny.
Destroy evidence. All right, Dr. Abel from Lafayette. He was famous in them parts for always catching the largest fish and winning the fishing rodeos for the local festival. Now one day he was on one of his frequent fishing trips down on the bayou, and he got a call that a woman was back at the dock giving birth. Well, he turned that boat around. He hauled ass. He hurried up to her aid. And to y'all, he delivered a healthy baby boy.
Aw.
Now, unfortunately, they didn't have a baby scale to weigh the baby with. So Dr. Abear, he used his fish scale. I swear that baby, y'all, that weighed like 25 pounds and 3 ounces. The biggest baby ever.
That's funny.
That baby had arms look like Boudin. And if you don't know what Boudin is,
Look at
Google
Look
it.
at that. At least the peppers with it. Yum.
You Googled that fast?
No, I actually
Okay.
stuffed peppers with it, and then wrap bacon around the pepper, and then put them on the grill.
Oh, that ain't Boudin.
That's
Come on.
Gatorade. Yeah.
She's
Delicious.
from Texas, y'all.
Yeah, I'm from Texas, right? Put
Alright.
everything on the grill.
And most of the people in South Texas are really Cajuns from Louisiana. They just went that way at some point in time. They all come from Louisiana. Alright. One day, Boudreaux came home from work, and as he drives up to his house, he sees a pickup truck leaving his house. So he heads up the road. The truck heads up the road. He walks into the house, takes off his cap, and sits in his rocking chair. Then he asks Marie. He said, who that was that just left? Marie said, well, that was Clarence. Ah, okay, says Boudreaux. Gotcha. A few days later now, Boudreaux gets home from work again. He sees that same truck going the same way, leaving. He walks into the house, takes off his cap, sits down in his rocking chair, looks over at Marie. Who that was just left? Well, man, that's Clarence. So I said, oh, okay. Now the very next day, same thing. As Boudreaux walks in, takes off his cap, he asks Marie. He says, Marie, let me guess. That was Clarence that just left again. Marie, yeah, that's right. He said, Boudreaux, Marie, are you and Clarence having an affair? Yes, says Marie. And with that, Boudreaux puts his cap back on, walks out the door, and climbs into his truck. He speeds away, so mad, he gonna take care of business, y'all. He said, I gotta take care of that. Can't just leave this happen. About 5 minutes later, Boudreaux drives back up to the house. He walks in, takes his cap off, sits in his rocking chair, and Marie, she says, Boudreaux, you wasn't gone very long. What happened? Boudreaux says, well, Marie, I was going to find that Clarence fella and beat him up. But when I got to the overpass for the interstate, I saw the big sign, said Clarence, 12'6". I figured it might be better for me just to come home and forget the whole thing. Yeah, you always want to identify suspect, or you take matters into your own hands. Alright, Boudreaux, Thibodeau, and Hebert. They all sitting around talking one afternoon after enjoying a little crawfish ball. The conversation turned to what they would like to have people say when they die. Hebert, he said, well, me, if I could hear what they were going to say at my funeral, I would like to hear them say that I was a great doctor and a good family man. Pretty noble. Thibodeau, he says, well, me, I would like to hear them say that I was a good husband and a great teacher. And I made a difference in all the kids' lives. Apparently, Thibodeau was a teacher. at some point. Now, Boudreaux, he thinks for a minute. He says, well, me, I would like to hear somebody say, look, he's moving.
Oh, that's a good one.
Back to life. Alright, I think I could dig a couple more up, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to ask. Open mic for anybody that wants to come.
I can do some more.
You want to do a couple more?
Yeah.
Alright, come on.
Hey,
Alright,
Joe.
everybody, let's welcome up again
Hey,
Jim.
welcome.
Hello, it's me again.
Hey.
Hi, you again.
Some women were bragging about their men. The first one said, my husband's like 7-Up because he's got 7 inches and it's always up.
Damn.
Second one said, well, my husband's like Mountain Dew because when he gets home, he likes to Mountain Dew me.
Oh my god.
Alright.
Third one says, my husband's like Amaretto. And the first girl said, isn't that some kind of fancy liquor? And she says, uh-huh. A friend of mine asked me to do a knock-knock joke, and here it is for you. Knock-knock.
Come in.
Who's that?
Wash, wash.
Say that again.
What?
Wash.
Wash out.
Wash you.
Wash out for the zombies.
God.
We'll save that for Halloween, too. We'll save that for Halloween, too. A few years back, I met a woman in Second Life. We got close, and we decided to meet each other. And back then, I lived in a gated community, so when I gave her the address, I told her I'd have to help her get in. But she was kind of surprised when she rolled up on Angola State Penitentiary.
Yeah.
Roosters don't wear underwear because their pecker is on their head.
Oh, God.
But they're clueless sometimes. It makes sense, though. They only have that one little tiny hole in their penis to get oxygen to their brain.
Oh, God.
One time an elephant saw me naked. He asked, how do you breathe through that thing? I used to call my ex-wife's diaphragm a dick trampoline. Well, life is like a dick. It gets hard for no reason, then it's way too short.
Oh.
That was too perfect.
There's some truth to that.
Ants don't have dicks. If they did, they'd be uncles.
Oh.
How many people have seen the penis statue? It was only recently erected.
Oh. Missed it.
My boss told me to stop shortening his name to Dick. I said, okay, Matthew.
That's a contagious.
Yep.
One woman wanted to tell me how long mine was. I said I couldn't. I only have one ruler.
And then you woke up.
A good one, Jealous.
It's a joke within a joke.
Jokeception.
I tried phone sex. The holes were too small. Don't remember
True.
rotary dial. Viagra has a pharmaceutical term. My cock's a flopping. You know the generic is my dick's a drooping.
I know that.
Oh, stalker asked me if my penis burns after sex. I said I haven't tried to light it.
Ooh.
Why is Bill short for William? And how do we get Dick for Richard? I don't know. I guess if you ask it nicely, maybe.
Rich dick? Oh.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what it is.
My ex-wife, my ex-wife was upset when when she heard I went to a prostitute. I said, "Well, we haven't had sex in months." So she said, "Well, I wasn't aware you were willing to pay."
That's a good one.
My ex-wife complained I treated her like a sex object, but every time I asked for sex, she objected. In high school, I bought condoms 3 at a time for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now I get the 12-pack, January, February, March. I got upset trying to set up a password. I tried using my penis. The computer said it was too short.
Birthday.
Can't figure out if it's long or short. These jokes are all over the place. My girlfriend needed to log in, so I told her. She said, "Wow, you really don't want people to remember it." What about my penis? It's not memorable. She said I should change it. I said, "Well, what's wrong with using my penis?" "It works for me." She said, "That's fine, just maybe not so often." I did find out that Uranus is more weird than we thought. They report new mysteries of the Tilt planet. We need the James Webb Space Telescope to see it because Uranus is so far away. Not that it's so small.
It's all the way behind you. Everywhere you go, it's always behind you.
Uranus orbits on the side like it's on a spit roast. Uranus has previously undiscovered moons. Moons and Uranus sounds like an orgy in space to me. There's been a trio of recent studies about Uranus, so it's downgraded to a threesome. The studies reveal that one of its moons, called Miranda, has a stirring ocean beneath its surface. I'm not sure if they're calling it the stirring ocean. I'm Miranda. I still don't know why we call the wind Mariah. I don't know why that was funny. I forgot what was funny about that one.
I was waiting for fun.
Me too. They report many surprises awaiting us in Uranus. They talked about a strong magnetosphere trapping ionized water in the Uranus system. A researcher asked where they might find an expert on things being trapped in Uranus, and someone suggested Richard Gere.
Oh,
Miranda may have a thin ice shell of 1/18 of 18 miles. Miranda may have a thin ice shell of 18 miles, which could explain why it has the weird ridge structures that would have formed in response to severe tidal stress. Experts saying the weird ridge structures, they're going to have to ask Stormy Daniels about that. Stormy Daniels about the weird, ridge structures. Odd sexual practices. Have you heard about these odd sexual practices at Texas A&M University? It's easy for everyone to see. You can tell you're getting close to the campus when you see the goats backing up to the fences. There's a rivalry between OU and Texas Longhorns, if you're not aware. I'm from Texas, so I'm aware, and some of us here. The reason Texas doesn't fall into the Gulf of Mexico is because Oklahoma sucks.
Yes.
Gulf of America.
Only two things from Oklahoma.
queers and steers.
That's correct. I don't see no horns on you.
Oklahoma.
Oh, you.
What Oklahoma do?
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Maybe not really Oklahoma.
Oh,
Just, I have some exes from Oklahoma.
I felt that.
Yeah.
Oh, none of your exes are from Texas?
I've got
Texas from
one.
Texas.
Someone was gonna say.
Now, why do gorillas have such big nostrils? Because they have big fingers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's worse than Uranus jokes? Okay. There's a growing trend of older Americans using marijuana in retirement, but I think there's a misunderstanding. I think they're just talking about their joints. If the whole world used a THC gummy simultaneously, there would be a peace for at least 2 hours, followed by a global food shortage.
Wow.
That's the truth.
Making plans with a stoner is like being with a prostitute. They tell you that they're coming, but you know it's a lie. I can only get high if I take the THC gummies with my mom. Apparently, I have an edible complex.
Edible complex. Oh, that's right.
You know you're a stoner when you save food because you know it tastes better when you're high.
Damn right.
The pastor at church asked the little girl why it's important to remain quiet during the services, and the little girl wasn't sure, so she asked, because everyone is sleeping? And my last one's a little wordy, but hopefully it'll pay off in the end. There was a Protestant living in a neighborhood of Catholics, and the first Friday in Lent, he was grilling a juicy steak. The contingent of his neighbors came over and asked if he would convert to Catholicism, and he agreed. On Sunday, the priest sprinkled him with holy water and said, "You were born a Protestant, raised a Protestant, but today you're a Catholic." They explained it was a tradition to eat fish and not meat on Fridays during Lent. Well, the next Friday, the newly minted Catholic was grilling a steak again, and the neighbors came over to see him sprinkling his steak. "You were born a cow, raised a cow, but today you are a fish." Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're a big hand for Jim. Alright, I got a couple more that'll take us up to the top of the hour. Y'all, Marie, she went to the doctor for her annual checkup.
Oh.
Yep. And when Boudreaux came home from work that day, the first sight that greeted him was Marie, naked.
Ooh.
When she was standing in front of the mirror, admiring herself.
Mm-hmm.
And Boudreaux, he said, "Marie, the hell you doing?" Now Marie, obviously proud of herself and the way she looks. She said, "Boudreaux, I went for my checkup today, and the doctor told me I have the breasts of a 25-year-old. Now, Boudreaux, not being one to let the chance pass him by, he says, "Oh yeah? And what they said about that 50-year-old ass of yours?"
Damn. He'll be on the couch tonight.
Now, Marie, y'all know she don't like to be outdone. She's witty. She came back pretty quick. She said, "Well, come to think about it, Boudreaux, he didn't mention your name at all."
Burn.
Good job. I like Marie.
Me too.
Right? Oh, yeah. She gets after
Marie's a
it.
queen now. Queen.
Quick.
All right. Boudreaux and Thibodeau were taking a long overdue vacation. Now, they was going to spend a week down at Holly Beach. And if you don't know where that is, Google it. And they stopped to get a bite to eat along the way. And after they left the truck stop and had gotten several miles down the road, Thibodeau suddenly realized that he left his sunglasses at the restaurant. He
Aw.
had to travel several more miles to find a turnaround. Boudreaux ran and raved the whole way back. Was giving Thibodeau holy hell for being so forgetful. By the time they got back to the truck stopped, Thibodeau was feeling real bad about giving Boudreaux all the trouble. As he got out the truck to go get his glasses, Boudreaux hollered out. He said, "Hey, by the way, while you in there, grab my hat." All right, y'all. That's it. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight, hanging out for the hour, sharing your jokes with us, sharing your time with us.
Good
That's
job.
the most important part.
Thank you,
And,
Nick.
Be happy to see y'all next week. And Thursday night, looks like match game is get your Chinese tea garden costumes.
Asian.
All right, for whatever that is.
Yeah, it might not be Chinese, might be Japanese, or Cambodian, or Korean. Who knows?
One of those.
Yeah, one of
And my
them.
katana.
And have a good night, YouTube people. Remember to like and subscribe and share.
That's right. Do all that good stuff.
And
Oh, yeah,
put
she-
them before you leave.
Hey,
Thanks everyone for coming. And
Thank you. Enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. These jokes are hilarious.
Always.
come back
Just
next
remember,
month.
gotta get rid of that tank chainsaw.
Yeah, we're gonna bury that somewhere.
Okay, good night, everybody.
Good night.
It's good to see you.
All around.
Have a good day. No.
We will. I'll be here part of the time.
Oh, nice.
Good night, Senator. Thanks for coming by. Enjoyed having you.
Bye, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you. Johan and Rex, it was cool of you to be here. Glad y'all are coming out. Woomaloo, nice to see you. May's already taken off.